I paid more than $600 for all that crappy place. Like bugs were crawling on the floor. There's no TV. Room was like, the minute they turned on AC, it felt like really like the smell comes out, and it was just gross.
The moment you enter the room, the moment I entered the room, it was such a horrible room. I cannot even share. It's not even a $20 worth room per day, which they were charging $349 for one day.
It's like we are animals. We have no human rights. Where is all those human rights people? Like, what's happening with this? My question is always like this: what's happening? Why is it like we've been treated? If Justin Trudeau has said that we can come through third country, that's what we are doing. We're coming from third country. We're following all the rules. We're getting tests done in India. We're getting tests in third country.
Even you are a Canadian, it doesn't matter to them. You are considered to be Indian, not as a Canadian. This is what the sad part is.
The treatment we got was not right.
Hi, I'm Roop. Please do the needful. Like the video, follow the page, subscribe to the channel, whatever you need to do wherever you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube. So Canada has extended its ban on incoming passenger flights from India by another 30 days to July 21st. The ban on flights from Pakistan has not been extended. There are many Canadian citizens who are stranded both in India and in Pakistan because of flight ban that was put in place on April 22nd earlier this year. But those who are returning to Canada from India are doing it through an indirect route through a third country where they need to get a valid COVID-19 test before boarding a flight to Canada. This is, of course, causing inconvenience, costing significantly more, and also there are many passengers who are reporting unfair treatment when they arrive in Canada after clearing all the loopholes. Today, I speak to two Canadian citizens who traveled from India to Canada this month. Both of them do not have pleasant stories of their journey back. But a quick disclaimer, they did not speak to each other or share notes prior to this recording. So let's hear what they have to say. Arvind Katyal from Ottawa and Sangeeta Sharma from Calgary. If you don't have the time to watch the entire interview, you can download our podcast. It's called The Roop Show, and it is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict. Please go subscribe to The Roop Show. Thank you. Welcome, Arvind, and welcome, Sangeeta. Thank you so much for making the time to be with me here today again.
Thank you.
Arvindji, let's start with your story.
Okay, so as you know, the flight ban started on April 22nd, and we were all in the hoping that, okay, when can we go and how can we go? And I did send email to Canadian High Commission that, okay, now the flights are banned. So what's the way we can go? We are Canadians. We are stranded here. And then they said, okay, you can go by indirect route, and that too in a third country, and go with another test like a PCR test, RT-PCR test, and then only you can land into Canada. So then we started hoping like how we can go, which country would allow us, because in India the cases for the COVID cases were rising at an enormous rate. So we decided that, okay, maybe one route would be Mexico route. Someone said, no, Ethiopia is another route. Then somebody said, no, you can go by Muscat. So going by all these details, so finally I found that the Serbia route, which is through Belgrade, looks to be very good, because I might get a chance to have a look of the city based on the Europe and all. So I decided that I should go by Serbia route. Now, when after May 15, basically I started that, okay, I would go with this route. And for June 3, I booked the flight. And now when I booked the flights, so they did mention that you are not allowed to carry like 2 pieces of check-in bag. Normally, when we come from India or some Asian countries to North America, we are allowed 23 kg. So when I reached Delhi, and from Delhi to Frankfurt, and Frankfurt to Belgrade was the route for the Lufthansa. And the guy told me, no, you can take only 1 bag. And I said, no, I am entitled for 2 bags. He says, no, it's 1 bag only because you are going to Belgrade. So I said, okay, I will try to adjust my other stuff. Then he said, no, it's just 4 kg enough, and you have to pay Indian rupees 10,500. And then it was a big challenge for me. I had to fight with almost every Lufthansa guy there or the agents there that, okay, I'm not going to pay this amount. It's too much for 4 kg. Then they say, you throw it. I said, why should I throw 4 kg? This is for my family. I would not throw it. But anyway, finally, I had to come to those guys because I was to take a flight. So finally, I paid 10,500 just for 4 kg extra and landed in Frankfurt. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I see Sangeeta also nodding her head. Was it a similar experience for you as well?
No, actually, my experience was really good. I didn't have any issues from Paris, and I took two suitcases. In fact, my suitcases were a little bit over, and they didn't mind. They just gave it to me, and no issue. My issue started when I landed in Montreal.
Okay,
then we'll go back to Arvind because his issues seem to have started.
Because I did mention the guys the same thing. I said, you're allowing 2 kgs to others. He said, no, Mexico is a different route. I said, I paid maybe more than what Mexico people have paid. So why don't you allow me to that? He says, no, this is the policy that you are going to Europe within Europe. So we won't allow you. And he says, you talk to any GM, anyone in the Delhi airport, we won't allow you to board this otherwise. Anyway, I had to take that thing. And when I landed in Frankfurt, so, when you land to Frankfurt, you have to pass through that security kind of a thing. So there the guy again stopped me because I was just having a regular handbag, which is basically a laptop bag. And he started checking everything, all stuff. And then even he called the local police, like the airport police. He says, he asked me, so where are you going? I said, I'm going to Canada, but I'll be going by Belgrade. He says, it's interesting. Why you are going by Belgrade? You should go directly to Canada. I said, it's not allowed. We have to go for another test. He says, something is strange. You should not go to Belgrade. And he was just trying to suspicion that why I'm going to Belgrade in that sense. I said, you can check with any authorities. We are not allowed to go. He said, go and get test done here. I said, I know there is a testing facility here, but it's not allowed by even German embassy. They said, you cannot get the test done here. Anyway, that was first part. And then they started checking those bags and all. And finally, he said, oh, this is a laptop charger. Why did you put inside? It should have been outside. I said, this is, I didn't notice that. And he was so frustrated. He just took one toothpaste. He just threw it. He said, no, I have to throw this. That was the only thing he could find. But finally, I was away. But that was, I don't know why these guys are so, fussy that, okay, you have to go through all these things. So that was one. And another thing I had to face the challenge.
And also, I think lack of information. They didn't know that you had to, why you were flying to Belgrade. For them, you're probably doing something that's not legal.
Yes, that's why then they asked me, you're Canadian. I said, can I see the passport? I said, then she just clicked the picture of the passport. I said, you do whatever you want to do. I'm going to Belgrade. I have to stay there for 2-3 days. And then I'll be back to Canada. Then they were both discussing with each other and nodding their head. Okay, maybe he's right. So finally, then I reached Belgrade. But that was a wonderful experience in Belgrade. Those guys were so welcoming. They didn't ask you anything. They just say, come to Belgrade. You're welcome here. And then I roamed around the city. That was the finest part for Belgrade. And I liked that, the way tests were conducted. And so from Belgrade to Canada, again, the journey started with the same check-in bag first. So then they say you have to pay one because now we allow you only one handbag, not even one check-in bag. Okay. So I paid there also. You can say Indian rupees around 6,400 for just one check-in bag. Anyway, so I started the journey and then we went by Zurich, basically because there is a code share flight from Zurich. You can go by Swissair. It was Swissair. So Zurich was okay. They were very nice. So from Zurich, when the flight started for Montreal, we were only 31 passengers in the whole flight. And the captain of the flight, he came to us. He says, don't sit close by because you have to sit scattered because we have a heavy cargo the flight will tumble down. I have never seen such kind of thing that they say the flight will be in trouble. There's a cargo which is heavy load, so you have to sit very, very, like quite a distance. I said, can I come to the business class? He says, no, not business class. You should stay there only. So this was interesting part. He says, no one is going to Canada. He says, I don't know why we are going. And there were 12 of them and we were 31. So that was another interesting thing.
And then you finally landed here. Where did you land in Canada? In Montreal.
I landed on 6th of June.
And that's exactly where things got complicated for Sangeeta as well. So I'm going to bring her to the screen now.
Yes.
Tell us your story, Sangeeta.
So my story, I think that I went to India on March 18th, I guess. And it was solely business trip, like nothing else. And I was scheduled to come back on May 2nd. And but before that, like ban happened. And flight was scheduled to by Air India on, I would say, June 9th. And that got canceled again. So then I decided, okay, it's time for me to look for different routes. And I was in a group where Canadians stuck in India, and my husband booked my flight from India to Mexico, Mexico to Montreal to Calgary, and I was fine by that because I wanted to come home as soon as possible. At Indian Airport, I had no issue. Everything was fine. My luggage, and they were no problem. They helped me any way they could. And like my trouble actually, like even in Mexico, they were very nice. And I did get sick there as well. I got food poisoning or something. But thank God I had 2 days there, got my test done, and got on Air Canada on, I think it's June 10th to go to Montreal. I should have actually gone to Vancouver, but my flight was from Montreal. And that's where the issue happened, because according to Health Canada, it's if you are a COVID-19 survivor and if you have vaccination done, you are exempt. You don't have to go through the whole process. So knowing that, I actually did not book a hotel. So when you don't book a hotel, you're just like, you're just going like, okay, I'm ready to go home. My flight is booked. And even my travel agent, he goes like, no, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to book any hotel because you're exempt. So I actually went to Health Canada office. They actually told me to go there. And when I went there, and they just go like, have you booked your hotel? And I just go like, no, I don't need to book a hotel. Here is my reports. And they just go like, no, we don't accept any reports from India. I just go like, I understand you don't accept any reports from COVID-19 test and stuff, but there is nowhere it says you don't accept COVID-19 when somebody as like, if I have gotten like manu agar ho gaya COVID-19, so I should be exempt from it because it says on Health Canada's website. And they just go like, no, if it's from India, we don't accept that. I just go like, well, that's not fair, right? Because if you're telling me that you come from third country and do your test, I did that. I'm following all the rules and regulations. And like I said in my on Facebook too, because I own Academy and we accept international students. So we are constantly in contact with Alberta in Health Canada, and they tell us what to do. So we have to follow all that. So I knew pretty much that what we have to do and how we have to follow everything. But they were not listening to me. It was so frustrating. Like even when I went to somebody else and they just go like, yeah, you're exempt. You don't have to go through all this because we are seeing, and I just go like, can you please come with me and show to these people? And when they did go with me and they're just going like, why is it? And they just go like, no, we don't. And then they start talking between each other and they just go like, okay, we can't do anything. And I just like, here I'm on the phone with my husband and I'm just going like, I don't know what to do because I was sick in Mexico, so I didn't eat anything for 2-3 days. I kept myself really light food, no water, nothing. And here I'm starving. I need water. Nobody's helping me anything. So they gave me one flyer to call this hotel. And I'm just going like, I'm not booking any hotel. I need to go back because my flight is booked. I need to go back to Calgary. And they just go like, no, you cannot go to Calgary. If you go to Calgary, we'll give you a fine. It's a $5,000 fine. Actually, I should have taken that fine because I could have fought for it. But, at that time, you don't think, and everybody's kind of looking at you because you're the one who is fighting. And there's other people, and I actually tell them, just come with me, please. Let's come together and fight for it, because this is the law. We are not going against something. We're going whatever is actually on their website. We're following all the rules and regulations. But they were just like not listening. So finally, I just go like, okay, show me where is your documents? Where is the announcement? Where is it? They were not able to show me anything. Nothing was shown to me. And this guy was actually on his phone, and he was trying to find the information. And then he found one, and where it says no tests are accepted from India. I said, well, that's what we are following all this. But where does it say if you're COVID-19 positive and you're recovered, even from India, we still have to stay in a hotel? And they just go like, well, we can't. I just go like, can you print that for me? And he goes like, no, I can't because it's from my phone. I said, then why are you showing me your phone? Where is your computer? Show me. So I fought with them for more than an hour. So all the officers were just looking at me like, okay. And I felt like they're going to bring the gun and just go like, ma'am, just like, we're just going to handcuff you and take you to jail or somewhere. But I just go like, I don't care. This is my right, and they're taking my right away from me. But hotel is another story.
So you stayed in a hotel eventually?
Yeah, I had no choice. Yeah.
How long did you have to stay in the hotel?
Well, that's what happened is actually they just go like, okay, go from that site and go book your hotel. Come back to us. We're going to phone the hotel to just make sure that you have booked the hotel, right? We need that confirmation number, and we need to put it in your file. And it's like more than like, I felt like I'm a criminal there, yes. Right? So I just go like, okay, this is the hotel. This is the flyer. You gave it to me. This is the hotel I booked. And they just go like, well, you should be receiving email. I said, I'm not receiving anything. They're not calling me. They're not giving me the email or anything. I have paid for it. So they call the same hotel, and they just go like, yeah, her thing is booked. Her room is booked. So this is her confirmation number. So you just follow it. I said, okay, fine. But I just go like, I'm not going. If I have to sit here, I will sit here, and I need some answers here. I know my hotel is booked. Now you know my hotel is booked, but I need some answers here. And, there was so many people, like elderlies, they were stuck there, and they didn't know how to call the taxi, or because I think they were coming from Montreal to Calgary too. So they poor people, they were just sitting, and I felt like helping them. But same time, I was thinking if I can get by, maybe they'll get by as well. Right. So, but
yeah, I hear this whole, I think this theme is repetitive with what Arvind also said, this feeling of second-class citizen through the entire process, starting from India for him. Yeah. And you said that you had gone through all the rules, all the regulations, you had talked to your travel agent, you'd done all the needful work that you needed to do before you boarded that plane, and yet you came across all these challenges. And I can imagine someone like an older individual who doesn't speak English and who is not able to communicate how they must feel through the entire entire process. Mm-hmm. I know Arvind mentioned to me earlier that there is a lot of anger in a lot of travelers who traveled from India. So where is that anger stemming from, and what are you or the other travelers, what are you doing about that anger?
So as you see, even either Canadian citizens or PR cardholders or students or whosoever, everyone is now stuck here in India. They're in India. Okay. So everyone is trying that they should be, they want to come back to Canada, no matter how the prices are now hiking up. So like maybe it's 2 times or 3 times more what we even paid on June 3. This is what is happening now. So I'm still trying to help those guys that, okay, take this route, go to this hotel, book this hotel, take this PCR test. This is the way you should come to Canada. And now, as Sangeeta was telling the story for the COVID positive, So I have about 3-4 guys who went to Toronto, not Montreal. They have a different story. They say, they just tell them, we are positive, and when they try to show the documents, they say, no, 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 it's okay. You can go home. You don't need to go to hotel. Toronto is a different story. Montreal is a different story. It's
Even
altogether
Vancouver.
different. Vancouver is
Vancouver.
different.
Yeah, they
Yes.
were letting everybody go.
Yes, it's the same for Toronto. It's only in Montreal they have a different rules and they don't listen. And for Montreal, I can share one more thing. After this Zurich flight, when I landed in Montreal, when we were passing through the first step, when we go for the passport scanning, and then the guy was there, he says, "Oh, where were you in the past 14 days?" I said, 3 days I was in Serbia, Belgrade, and before that I was in India. Then he just stood up. He says, "India?" He said, "Yes, I was in India." I said, "I'm not telling lie." Then there was a girl said, "Okay, are you feeling sick?" I said, "No, I've already done my test and everything is negative. So why I'm feeling sick?" "No, I'm asking you, are you sick?" I said, "No, I'm not sick." First, I thought maybe she's asking I am sick. I said, "No, I'm not sick." I mean, sometimes you think that because she's on the other side of the counter. I said, "No, I'm not sick. I'm okay. But I have to go and I'm to the, like, whatever we process I have to do." They say, "No, they had an Indian variant." The other guy said. I said, "No, it's not Indian variant. It's a Delta variant now." And the guys were looking at me because normally they speak, most of the time they're French speaking guys. So then they directed me to the PHAC guys, and the same story. I had to fight with them that I should be exempted. He said no. Then he called the hotel guy, and this guy had booked. He says no, this guy booked from booking.com, but this is for a smaller rate. We have to charge him COVID rate. I said, I just booked. There was no other option available. I just booked that hotel, and I'll pay them when I reach there. But I wanted to ask you and request you that I should not be allowed to, should be exempted from going there. And I'll be going to my home, Ottawa, and we have all quarantine. Everything is okay. I should go there. He said, no, no, you have to book the hotel. And after calling those people, he says, no, cancel his booking. The other one, he will pay for the COVID rate. It's 3 times more. And then he says, what's your phone number? I said this. He said, let me call your number if it's working or not. And in front of him, he was calling my number. He says, okay, your phone number is fine now. I mean, same way
So
Sangeeta is telling. I don't know.
Why
They
is
want to. They're so suspicious. I mean, those suspicious. They find us criminal. I mean, I'm telling you everything. I said, what else?
Why is COVID rate more than booking.com rate? Shouldn't
Because
it be subsidized?
No, it should be subsidized, but they just provide you a very. She would know that what kind of meal is being provided to us. I have a picture of the meal which was provided when I first landed to one of the hotels. It's a Baymount hotel by Wyndham, one of the cheapest I booked. So I have a similar story. I went there, took their shuttle, went there, and they said first half an hour nobody attended to me that I'm coming to stay here. I was just asking that where should I go, and my luggage was outside in that trolley, and no one was there to even help me that okay I can go in, because they were considering is that they similarly just like criminals who are entering in their hotel. We were not guests. When you go to a hotel, you are considered a guest and they treat you well. But here the story was different. We were considered to be a traveler, COVID traveler, or I don't know what kind of terms they say. Then say, oh, you are there, you have not got the booking. I said, no. Okay, we will book you. Where is your card? Where is your this thing? And then they booked me. They said, that is the ground floor, that room, you go there. I said, can anybody help me? Oh, we don't have anybody. You just take your stuff along with you. Okay. So the moment I entered the room, it was such a horrible room. I cannot even share. It's not even a $20 worth room per day, which they were charging $349 for one day. And then I told them there is no air conditioner. It's already hot here, June 6th. They said, oh, that's not working. Can we provide fan to you? So I said, you are providing fan? So he said, oh, then we'll change your room. Then I asked them which room you're going to give me. They said, it's on the first floor. Okay, I said, let's go there. I said, where's the elevator? Oh, we don't have elevator. I said, how will I take my luggage? He said, you can keep your main big bag in one of the room, and then this other stuff you can take up. So this is the treatment they were giving. Then I fought with them. I said, no, you are not giving proper thing. The food you have provided. Oh yeah, one more thing. I asked them, I'm just coming from the airport. I need bottle of water. He said, we have ordered for the water bottle. I said, ordered for the water bottle? Where are the water? Where is the water? He said, because yours is a different packet. So the water bottle will come with that packet only, food packet. And there was a small plastic tray, kind of a food, packed food. And I have the picture. I can show you. It's a horrible picture of that food which they provided me. I came out. I fought with them. I said, I am not going to stay here. One of my friend, like they were traveler friend, they stayed in another hotel, Ramada. I told them this, if I can come there, I'm not going to stay there. And those guys said they already have one room booked, but if they asked me if I can share, I said I am ready to share. I'll pay more. We can jointly share. So I told the hotel guy, I'm going to call the Health Canada now, and I'm going to tell the CTV and CBC News, everyone, that this is the treatment being given to me, or you refund me immediately. I'm just leaving in 5 minutes. Then the lady said, okay, give me your debit card. I will refund the money to you. She refunded the money. I paid $900 immediately there, and they refunded me. And then I called the taxi and went to the another hotel.
Sangeeta, you had food poisoning before coming to Canada. So how was your food experience once you landed in the hotel?
Well, my food experience, I think I posted on the, again, with just like Arvindji's, food was just horrible. Like they asked me, do you want vegetarian meal? And I just go like, yes, please. So they gave me spaghetti. It's like somebody put the spaghetti and put the sauce on it, slap it and close it. And it was a wrap there. The minute I took a bite out of that wrap, like it literally sand was coming in my mouth. And I just go like, oh my God, I cannot eat this.
I have the picture. I will show you.
Yeah. And then
send me the picture later. I'll put it in the video.
And then coffee machine. I said, so where is coffee? And they just go like, oh, how many coffees do you need? I said, what do you mean, how many coffees do you need? Aren't you supposed to have some coffee, some cream, some sugar, something to be provided? And they just go like, oh, okay, well, we'll get it. But as soon as I'm very picky. Like if I go to any hotel, I check their everything. So I was checking their coffee machine and I looked and I literally felt like throwing up. It was just like, oh my God, I hope nobody's drinking coffee out of these coffee things, because it was not clean. It was like rusted. Like it was like machine was just rusted. It was crazy to see. Aise bhi koi, like, it's like we are animals. We have no human rights. Where is all those human right people? Like, what's happening with this? My question is always like this. What's happening? Why is it like we've been treated? If Justin Trudeau has said that we can come through third country, that's what we are doing. We're coming from third country. We're following all the rules. We're getting tests done in India. We're getting tests in third country. And we're coming here. And within six hours, we get our test back. But we still have to pay for 2 days. I paid more than $600 for all that crappy place. Like bugs were crawling on the floor. There's no TV. Room was like, the minute they turned on AC, it felt like really like the smell comes out, and it was just gross. And I didn't know. I didn't know that I have a choice to actually change, but I knew that my test will come right away, because one of the lady over there, they told me like, your test will come very fast. So I just go like, okay. And I did not sleep there. I did not. As soon as I got tested, I gave my test 4 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock I had my test. And I called my husband and he goes like, well, travel agent is sleeping. I just go like, I don't know. Here is his cell number. Call him. Call him and book my ticket. I'm coming. And he did that. Thank God. So
you already had a flight booked from Montreal to Calgary. So you had to change that flight. Did you have to pay for the change fee?
No.
Thankfully not.
Thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I think it is important to ask this question. Do you think the treatment would have been different if you were not South Asian?
100%. I think in Montreal, the way they have treated us, it felt like literally redneck. It's just they don't care. The minute they see India, oh yeah. Even like the Canadian border officer, like he looked at my thing, and I just go like, I'm actually vaccinated, and he goes like, doesn't matter. Like literally he threw the paper in the air and he goes like, doesn't matter. And I'm just looking, I literally, like I was feeling really bad. I even forgot to take his name. And I told them, I just go like, watch, I will be complaining about all this. And they just go like, go ahead.
Arvindji?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even you are a Canadian, it doesn't matter to them. I mean, you are considered to be Indian, not as a Canadian. This is what the sad part is. Canadian can live in any part of the world, can be from any part. Most of them, like from UK or all.
And I think I remember you mentioning it, Arvindji, when we were talking about this, and you said that no other country was, the flights from no other country were banned for this long.
Yes. Yeah, like last time when this UK ban was imposed, so no, they never banned the flights for so long the way it has been banned from India. And surprisingly, if you see today, they have opened for Pakistan and not even for India again.
Yeah, I read
which is
that
another
too.
interesting thing.
I read that too, and I'm just going like, why? Why is Pakistan open and why is
Yeah,
India
so
not
you
open?
can just look at the way, I don't know why Indians are being treated like this, and they have the majority in Indians, like they are stuck there, and they wanted to come back, and some want to start their studies, some families they are stuck there. So many cases are there, and everybody there, every day they are hoping that okay, something will come up, but still no one is taking care. And for me also, like Sangeeta, I'm also fully vaccinated. I did that, all that. I knew that once we are fully vaccinated, we should be given clearance. So, but no, nothing such have happened. I had compassionate ground. I was fully vaccinated. I did about 3 tests before coming to this place, PCR, but no one listened. So where should we?
I was getting my test done every week when I was in India. And I have every report, I can show it to them.
And yet you were treated differently because you said you're coming from India, or your skin is a different color.
Yes.
Because this time they think that India, whoever is coming from India, this is that fellow male or female is a danger to them.
Well, I do understand the threat or the fear because of the Delta variant and how bad it has been in India. But at the same time, when you experience racism, especially when you're going through that traumatic phase anyway, you've been there for such a long time, and then you've literally have to travel 3 different countries to come to this country, you're expecting that at least in Canada, you will be welcomed, right?
Yes.
So even in India, if you were treated badly, or even if you were treated badly in Belgrade or Mexico or anywhere on the way, you'd still tolerate it because that's not your country, that's not your home. But when you come here, you expect your country people to welcome you with open arms, and of course, follow the rules, follow whatever needs to be done, tick those check boxes. But that, like Sangeeta, you said that is human rights, that human dignity, at least give them good food to eat or a good place to stay. I'm glad that you're talking about this. What else are you doing about it? How can we change it, or how can we address it? Are you talking to the politicians? I know that, Arvind, you spoke to media about this, CTV, and Sangeeta, you wrote a Facebook post, but what are you doing beyond that?
Even when I was in India, I did send email to like local MPs here in Ottawa, but I didn't get a like genuine response. I would say it was just a stereotype of response that okay, you should talk to Canadian High Commission, whatever rules they are saying, you should follow those rules. Them even responded that oh, there are so many COVID cases in India, so many bad things happen, so keep yourself safe and all. So this is not the answer we were expecting. We know that we have to keep ourselves safe. That's why we got vaccinated. We wanted that there should be way out to come to Canada. How should we come back, or is there any way we should be brought back? This was the question I had raised, but the answer was different.
Yeah, I think I was reading everybody's comments on WhatsApp, and to me, I think I'm looking for beyond going to MPs and stuff, because I, like Arvind just said, they're not going to do anything. They don't want to do anything. If they wanted to do something, they could have done it.
They could have.
They could have done it, right? I went to Mexico, no problem. They treated us very well. Like, it was like coming from India, the whole world knows what's happening. So why is it Canadian are making big deal, while in Paris, no problem. You're more than welcome. You eat anywhere, you sit anywhere. They treated me nicely. Went to Mexico, everything was fine. They're welcoming. In fact, I'm just going like, hey, Canada is losing money because we want to come back. And here, other flights are open. Other countries are accepting us, giving us all that. They're making money.
Yes.
They're making money at this time, right? So, but it's, I don't think they can do anything, but I'm pushing my limit. I don't want to say anything what I'm going to do, but I'm just like, I'm going to put on LinkedIn. I'm going to put it anywhere. I'm going to go to human rights. I'm going to go wherever it needs to be. But I think, Arvind, we all need to come together on this. The treatment we got was not right.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And please let me know what you would be doing about this going forward. And I would love to support you in any way that I can, because, and I look forward to seeing the photos as well that you mentioned of the food, of the hotel. It's really unfortunate. I didn't know. See, that's another thing. I didn't know that this was happening until I saw your Facebook post, and I spoke to Arvind too. And I'm pretty sure there's many people out there who don't know, who have no clue that this is happening. And this needs to be brought to the forefront and perhaps brought more into the mainstream media as well. And thank you for sharing your story. Let's spread this story far and wide, and let's do something about it.
Okay,
all right.
Thanks
you so much.
for contacting us. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Roop. Thanks.